Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are flowing through 30 minutes of an afternoon Vinyasa flow. This is an intermediate level class, but you won't need any props other than your mat. If you're new here, don't forget to grab yourself your free download for my 7-day morning yoga mini series in the description below. So when you're ready, come join me on the mat. We'll get started right at the top of our mats. So come forward, take your big toes to touch, spread your toes apart, heels are slightly apart, and then just allow your hands to drop down next to your hips, palms flipping forward. Close your eyes here, do a quick little body scan, noticing any points of tension or stress, maybe where you're carrying a little bit of extra weight, maybe on your shoulders, maybe in your mind today. And just start to let that go. Take a nice big inhale and a big exhale, sigh it out. Another big cleansing breath on your own. And then one more. Start to blink your eyes open. Take a big breath in. Arms sweep up overhead. Press your palms. And exhale, begin to fold. Hinge forward from the hips. Inhale, find a flat back. Lower the hands down, step back to your plank pose. Keep your core strong. Option to drop your knees. We're going to shift forward, lower halfway for Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Lift the thighs if you can. And exhale, downward facing dog. So just taking some sun salutations here to warm up the body. In your down dog, make sure that you're moving around a little bit, pedaling your heels, shifting the weight through the hips, pressing deeply into your hands. Shoulders move away from the ears, down the back. And then find some stillness. One more nice deep breath right here. Look forward, come on to the balls of your feet, soften your knees, step up to the front, flat back, lengthen. And exhale, we're folding forward. Root down, rise up, palms press. And hands release to the sides. So keep moving. Inhale, reach up and lengthen. Exhale to fold forward. Hinge from the hips. Inhale, find your flat back. Hands down, step, or if you're ready, float back and lower Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So just bringing some warmth into the muscles, into the joints. And just heating up the body a little bit. Maybe even connecting to your Ujjayi breath, that ocean sounding breath, by constricting the back of the throat. Breathing in and out of your nose and letting your breath become audible. Now at the bottom of your next exhale, look forward, step or float up to the front. Find that flat back, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Root down through your feet, rise up, palms press. And hands release to the sides. Inhale, reach up, stretch it high. Exhale, we're folding. Inhale, find a flat back. Palms down, step or float back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So shoulders keep moving down the back, really ground into the fingers, the pads of the fingers, the knuckles. Taking a little bit of pressure out of the wrist. One more breath here. And then look forward, step or float up to the front. Find that flat back, lengthen. And exhale to fold. Root down, rise up, palms press. Hands release to the sides. So right into Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, take a seat. Find your chair, Utkatasana. Get heavy in your hips. Weight is back in the heels. Let your chest lift a little. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, find some length in the spine. Hands down, step or float back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Elbows draw back. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Lift your heart. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From here, big toes come to touch at the back of the mat. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, step it up by the right thumb. Warrior one, back heel to the floor. Inhale, the arms high. Maybe the palms press, maybe that's too much on the shoulders. Either way, big inhale. As you exhale, hands to the floor, step back. Vinyasa is yours, so take it or leave it. We're meeting back in down dog. Big toes together. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it up. Warrior one, back heel to the floor. Inhale, the arms lift. Big breath in. And exhale, lower the hands, step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Find your breath. Keep in mind, this is your practice, so if you ever need to pause the class or just take a break in child's pose, you can always do that. Take one more breath right here. And then look forward. Step or float up. Lengthen the spine, flat back. Exhale, we're folding. Inhale, take a seat, find your chair, Utkatasana. Get heavy in your hips, root down, and rise up. And hands release to the sides. From here, inhale, take a seat again, finding that chair. Exhale to fold. Inhale, find your flat back. And hands down, step or float back. Take your vinyasa. Meeting back in down dog. From your dog, inhale, the right leg lifts. This time open through your hip. You can stack your hip, roll around the knee, the hip, and the ankle. And then come back to find a straight leg. Three-legged dog. Step it up, warrior one. Back heel down. Inhale, the arms lift. And then as you exhale, hands meet behind you. Interlace your finger or just grab opposite hand. Inhale, lift your chest, open up. And exhale, humble warrior. So shoulder can rest over the thigh or fall on the inside of the thigh. Keep breathing. Stay folded here. Release your hands down to frame your front foot. Straighten out the leg. And then step that left foot in enough for pyramid pose. So the hips are squared. Inhale, find a flat back. And exhale, we're folding over that leg. Nice, full, steady breath. And getting a deep stretch through that right hamstring. From here, soften the right knee. Fingertips come forward of the right foot for standing split, lifting that left leg all the way up behind you. Now you can stay on your hands. You can take one hand behind the calf or the ankle. You can even play with handstand hops. So palms are going to come down. We're trying to get the shoulders over the wrists. And we kick that left leg all the way up. Right heel comes to the butt. Well, you can do that a few times. We're going to come back into standing split. And then from here, lower that left leg all the way back like you're coming into warrior two. But we're just going to spin the hips to the long left edge of the mat for Skandasana. So lengthening that left leg, hands come to your heart, lift your chest. Full steady breath here. And then from here, drop that right hand down, get the shoulder really low, lift the left arm high. So rolling the heart open, full inhale. As you exhale, close it off, let your left hand come down. The right hand's going to come down next to it. Pivot your hips forward for lizard. And you can kind of shift your hips forward and back. You can even drop your back knee if that feels good. Really reach your heart forward. And then if you lowered that back knee, tuck your back toes under, lift the knee up. and step back plank pose, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it up. Warrior one, back heel down. Hip bones to the front. Inhale, the arms high. Big breath in. Exhale, hands come behind you. Interlace the fingers or grab opposite hand, lift the heart, and then humble warrior. So shoulder can rest over top or fall on the inside. Nice big stretch in the shoulders. Stay folded. Release your hands to frame the foot. Walk that right foot in just a little bit so the heel's comfortably on the ground as you straighten the left leg. Pyramid pose. Reaching your chin all the way down toward the shin. Full steady breath. And then from here, take those fingertips forward, step into that left foot, bend the knee slightly as you lift the right leg, standing split. So a lot of options here. You can take those handstand hops. You can work on your balance. Take one hand or both hands to the back of the calf or ankle. Whatever feels good. And then slowly we're stepping that right foot all the way back, keeping it long, turning the hips toward the right side, lifting the right toes off the ground, Skandasana. From here, drop that the left shoulder nice and low. Rotate open, extend the right arm high. Gaze can follow that top thumb. And then close it off. Take both hands to the inside of the foot. Rotate your hips forward. Lizard pose. Full steady breath. Maybe shift forward and back. Maybe you drop that back knee for a little bit more of a hip flexor stretch. And then pressing into those palms, step back, plank pose, lower chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. From your down dog, inhale, roll forward. Find a plank pose. And then as you exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. From here, untuck the toes. Take your fingertips nice and wide off of the mat. Stay on the fingertips. Roll your chest open. Lift your heart. Big breath in. And then just dip that right shoulder down. Keep the left one lifted. Lift it back up. Now just drop that left shoulder. Lift it back up. Inhale, lift the heart all the way. And then exhale, lower down. You can take your hands as a little pillow under your forehead and maybe wiggle your hips a little bit left and right. And then take the hands underneath the shoulders. Press back, find a child's pose, Balasana. From your child's pose, tuck your toes, lift the hips, down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. And as you exhale, step it forward in between your hands. Drop your back knee down. Untuck your back toes. Hip bones can press forward and then sweep your arms all the way up. Nice deep low lunge. From here, inhale, stretch back. Bend your elbows like you're finding cactus arms or goalpost arms. Draw your shoulder blades together. Lift the heart a little bit more. Inhale here. Exhale, lower your hands down. Slide your hips back. Lengthen that front leg. Flex your toes up toward the ceiling and fold over your shin. Full, steady breath. One more breath right here. And then we'll take the hands to the inside of the foot, bend that right knee, turn your toes out slightly as you turn the right hip and the right knee open to the right side. And then option here to stay or to bend the left knee, grab hold of that right foot and draw the foot a little closer towards you. Full, steady breath. And then release that foot back down. Press into your palms. Tuck those left toes under. Just press back, down dog. So resetting in your down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it up in between your hands. Lower the right knee down. Untuck the toes. Hip bones press forward. And sweep your arms high. Nice deep low lunge. Keep the heart lifted, bend your elbows, draw your shoulder blades together, keep lifting open the chest, look up. And then exhale, lower your hands down, slide your hips back, lengthen the left leg, reach your chin down over toward the shin. Pointing your toes up toward the ceiling. One more breath right here. And then we'll bend into that left knee, turn the toes out, turn the knee out, rotate your hip open. You can stay here, or to go deeper, you might begin to bend the right knee and catch that foot behind you. Up to you. One more breath. And then release that foot. Step back, down dog. And take a big cleansing breath in your down dog. Come down to your knees. We're not going to sit back in child's pose. Just come up onto your knees. We're going to find camel. Taking 3 rounds here. Tuck your toes under for support. Let your hands come to your low back. Roll your chest open. Lift your heart here. Draw your shoulder blades and your elbows together as you lift the chest even more. And then gently just tip your gaze back. It doesn't have to be very deep. Keep lifting the heart. And come back up. So second round, you can do the same exact thing, or maybe your hands release to your heels. Lift your chest, roll the heart open, and walk your hands back if it feels good. If not, just keep your hands at the low back. Keep pushing your hip bones forward for 3, for 2, 1. Come back up with control. Last time, you can untuck the toes if you'd like. The whole hand can come down to your foot if that feels good. If it doesn't, stay with the hands at the low back. Inhale, lift the chest, press your hips forward, and then tip the gaze back. Maybe those hands walk back, maybe they don't. Either way, keep pushing forward for 3, for 2, and 1. Come back up. Now take a seat back onto your heels. Don't come into child's pose quite yet. Just close your eyes. Full inhale. Full exhale. And then find child's pose. From your child's pose, you can stretch your arms out in front of you. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, shift it through, land in your half pigeon pose. So the knee and the shin come down, and the back leg lengthens. Hips are going to square toward the front. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, we're walking it down. Maybe the forehead comes down to rest on the back of the hands. And just steady the breath. See if you can soften a little bit more. And we'll slowly begin to lift back up, just placing the palms down. Tuck your left toes under, stretch your right leg high, roll it around. Get some synovial fluid back into that joint, and place it down, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, shift it through, landing in your half pigeon pose. Back leg extends, come up onto your fingertips. Even your hips out, lift your heart, and lower down. Notice if you can soften just a little bit more. Take one more breath here. And then slowly start to lift. Place those palms back onto the ground. Tuck your right toes under. Left leg sweeps high, roll it around. Come down into your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then we're going to look forward, step or hop those feet to the outside of the hands, landing in your Yogi Squat, Malasana. Hands at the heart, lift your chest, roll the heart open. From here, just stretch your arms out. See if you can slowly just sink your hips back into boat pose, Navasana. So maybe those feet are on the ground, maybe the knees are bent. Either way, lift the heart. We're going to be here for 10. Keep lifting, maybe look up for 9. 8, steady breath for 7. 6, for 5. See if you can go a little bit higher for 4. 3, almost there. For 2. And 1. Lower your feet down, bound angle pose, Badakanasana. Reach your heart forward, elbows draw back, and fold over. And then slowly lift back up. And just set your feet down, hips width apart. Let your hands come directly behind you. Roll your chest open, push the floor away, hips up, gaze tips back. Open up the front side of the shoulders for 3, for 2, and 1. Let your hips come down. Stretch your legs long. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Paschimottanasana, sealing it all in. Reach your heart forward. And then slowly start to lift up. Roll down onto your back. You can keep your arms forward as you roll, trying to keep the core strong and engaged. And then hug your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze, rock a little bit left and right. And find a happy baby. So hands come around your feet. Press the knees nice and wide. Open your hips up. Maybe you straighten a leg. And then from here, release your feet. You can set the feet down hips width and just start to swish your knees left and right, massaging across the hips, Just a little bit of a release. And then find your way down into Shavasana. So quiet mind, quiet body. Allow your breath to get bigger. And start to send some movement, some life back into your fingers and your toes, rolling the wrists, the ankles, nodding the head back and forth. You can reach up and take a big stretch. Eventually rolling off to your side, hugging the knees into your chest for a moment. And eventually pressing yourself all the way up and just finding a comfortable and easy seat. Take your hands together in front of your heart. Just take a moment to thank yourself for choosing to practice today. Begin to notice any shifts or changes, maybe mentally, maybe physically or emotionally, since you first stepped onto your mat. And begin to thank yourself for choosing to show up and for choosing to honor yourself. And thank you so much for sharing your own practice with me. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for flowing with me today for this 30-minute intermediate Vinyasa class. I hope that you feel rejuvenated and open, and let me know in the comments how it went for you. If you haven't already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss a yoga class. I will be back really soon with another class, but until then, have a wonderful day.